And as people might or might know, I have so many of our clips, Mike, going back to last year and talking about issues like this and issues one after another after another. And they're on my YouTube channel, which is Greg Meakin. And what prompted me started in 1976 during the separatist movement in Quebec. We've talked about it. I lived under martial law. I know what socialism feels like. I know what oppression feels like. I feel like I didn't have any say in anything. I was an English kid in Quebec, go figure.
Yeah.
But so I watched that stuff, and then I watched the 2 referendums. I voted in 2 provincial referendums, Mike.
Yeah.
So I was involved, and at the time I did not for a minute want, I was a nationalist. I didn't want Quebec to become sovereign at the time. But that literally carried through. I mean, I think I told you, I did my first political article. I didn't even realize this till I did my body of work in 1978 on Pierre Elliott Trudeau. I covered him in the press pool back then. I didn't know politics from Adam back then, but I did the story. Mm-hmm. That was 1978. But now, when I watch the evolution of Canada, I call it the old Canada and the new Canada. The old Canada is what I was raised with. We've talked about this so many times, Mike. 1950s handshake world. We all loved and trusted each other. We all had our local barber, et cetera, et cetera. But this is a new Canada, and it's full of the nonsense and the garbage that we've seen for the last 5 years, especially, in the woke world. And every single day there's a new news story about just the nonsense that's going on with through the educational system, throughout the political system, et cetera. So this is very, very close to my heart. And when a couple of years ago I was introduced to the concept of the Alberta USA movement, and this was a totally different cat, Mike, to the Quebec movement. Number one, above all else, Quebec is a recipient of money and attention and everything else from the rest of Canada, including Western Canada, including equalization's monies, Mike. But Alberta is the one that's paying out. They're the one that's paying the bills. What was it, $20 billion or something? I heard last number on Alberta equalization. Not sure what the current number is.
It's a huge amount. But listen, look, I will say this in defense of Quebec, they're smart. I mean, if you can have enough, like, okay, so for Americans watching this right now, what Greg is talking about, the Equalization Act basically robs the province of Alberta of billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. And what it was devised as or sold as was a way to take from the rich and give to the poor, right? From the have provinces and give them to the have-not provinces. Well, number one, there's no reason whatsoever Quebec should be a have-not province. They've got a huge amount of resources of their own, with farming, mining, with forestry, maple syrup. I mean, their dairy cartel. But here's the thing. It damages them as well, because it gives them a kind of like a single mother is given more welfare if she has more children and doesn't go to work. It's kind of the same thing with Quebec. And Quebec even has a burgeoning join the USA movement, if I'm not mistaken.
Sure. Yes. That's Party 51 in Quebec. And the difference, though, Mike, you bring up cool points here. The difference to me with Alberta and anything back east, including Quebec, is Alberta has got the third richest, quote, province country in oil reserves in the world.
Yeah.
And they are, again, paying all those monies out, but they're a very, very attractive commodity. Alberta is really to the rest of the world. They've got oil. They've got an incredible workforce. They've got generally a conservative, traditional population. Alberta could be the gift to the world, and Eastern Canada doesn't appreciate it. That's fine. However, the movement to have Alberta become the 51st state, it's as huge for Albertans. Of course, can you imagine gas half the price, taxes less than half the price, no carbon taxes, no provincial taxes, no equalization monies, no on and on. So the benefits are there, but the huge benefits to America. We're talking oil reserves, and America would love to partner with you on that and not steal all that oil from you in the form of equalization.
Yeah, the other thing, too,
it's a win-win situation. This is a different gig from anything back east, Mike.